at Sleeping Giant Provincial Park, and it is August.
Coming into the middle of August, this is leg 7 of our epic Thunder Bay road trip 2025. It is a gray day today. We've had some great weather here and some very rainy weather. We're not packing up in the rain, but we're packing up soggy.
Yes, it rained off and on, sometimes hard yesterday. It was rain, sun, rain, sun. So,
Right. So this is one of the longer stops in our epic road trip. We've been here 3 nights. Obviously, first time in Sleeping Giant. We haven't come this far before. We are in the only campground that they have, which is Marie Louise Lake Campground, and we're on Site 12. And it's a service site. It's a good size, especially for what's in the park. The privacy is not bad for what's in the park.
which is not to say it's great, but it's okay.
Yeah, we have we'll have some sites noted in the description that we would like to be able to use sometime in the future. Otherwise, the conditions have been as with the rest of the epic road trip. The bugs are worse than we would have thought in August, but we benefited from a late bug season earlier in the season, and now we are paying the piper.
Yeah, but one thing I noticed, it seemed like, here's a theory, that the thunderstorms that we got in Thunder Bay cleared out some of the smoke, so we have been enjoying those blue water views, which have been very nice.
That's true. So the vistas of Lake Superior have been more impressive. There are some photos coming. The facilities in the park are generally pretty good for the most part. I mean, the park itself is huge.
Yeah.
Only the one campground, but the park is enormous. I didn't notice anything about rentals anywhere.
Well, I don't know, because we're on Marie Louise Lake, which is actually a sizable lake, and even really too big for canoeing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And of course, Lake Superior, it's just dangerous to canoe on. I think you'd want to sea kayak. I wouldn't surprise me if they kind of discourage people from goofing around.
There's a lot of signage about, if you're going to paddle, especially in Lake Superior, make sure you're really well prepared and you know what's going on, all that stuff.
Yeah.
There is a visitor center, which is excellent.
Yeah.
And it has a little park store in it, which is, tiny, and you can get some park swag. Not much in the way of snacks, maybe
Some ice cream bars.
yeah, so ice cream novelties, some caramel corn, that kind of thing. Not much in the way of camping supplies. There is a store in Pass Lake, which is right at the north border of the park, and it's got a smattering of camping supplies, some snack.
But even so, at near the north border of the park, that's a 25 minute drive, 30 even.
Let's call it 28 or 30 minute drive.
Yeah.
It's a good drive north of the campground. They do, as much as they have square footage devoted to all of the things that I mentioned, they have an equal amount devoted to being an LCBO agent. So
if not more.
all of your groggly needs are serviced there. And then there's a gas station about 35 minutes north. It's a Flying J. It's on the Trans-Canada, and that's the nearest gas station. They have a store. You got a better look around it. I don't know, would you say it was a place to get groceries?
Yeah. Yes. Well, okay. It's got every snack imaginable, and lots of cheap souvenirs. Groceries.
Groceries, bring what you need before you get here, largely.
Yeah, they're there to service truckers, not campers.
Right. Firewood you can buy at the park gate or the campground gate, although do so at your own peril. We bought a bag, and it was possibly the wettest wood I've ever bought from a park.
Yes, it's great. Would be great for if you needed to smoke some fish or something.
lots of smoke, very little flame coming off that firewood. There are two comfort stations in the campground. I would say they are slightly smaller than the modern standard.
Yep.
But for the size of the campground, having the two of them, I think they're a good size.
Yeah, they're quite adequate.
And they're in quite good condition when they are open. So we had a bit of bad luck. One of the days that we were here, Hydro One had an outage planned for the park so that they could do some equipment maintenance or something. And so the park was shut, therefore no water pressure.
No comfort stations.
No comfort stations, which was inconvenient. And I would say our impression is they did not adequately anticipate the additional traffic that the Kaibos
yes.
Would experience when their comfort stations were locked down.
Because of as evidenced by the disappearance of toilet paper.
Right. So, they were trying to cope with the outage. They brought a generator into the visitor center, we noticed, and were able to run a couple of things there. But these things, I guess, are hard to plan for unless you're good at planning.
Mm-hmm.
Fill and dump, we've had a peek at it. It looks like it is pretty well provided for. It's 2 lanes, dump, then fill.
Mm-hmm.
No bypass lanes or anything that I could see, but, 2 lanes is good, better than some of the parks we've been in lately.
Yeah, considering it's not a huge park.
Right.
Yeah, it's good.
The overall condition of the park, I would say, is pretty great. The signage is some
A
of the
plus.
best. Yeah,
A+.
some of the best we've seen.
Yeah.
Roads are well marked. Which way do you go to get to a particular campsite number? Well marked. All that stuff is really good. The paved parts of the roads are largely quite good.
Mm-hmm. With the odd spot that you have to be careful of.
Yeah.
Some of which are marked and some which are not.
Right. So there are some bumps marked on the main park road, but there are some other places where there's some potholes that really gave us a jolt, metaphorically and physically.
The beach here, which we can walk to in 5 minutes or so from this site. It's a fine beach. It's not like one of those luxurious sand beaches, but it does have sand kind of mixed with stone, and it's on Marie Louise Lake, so the water's warm. I didn't go swimming, but definitely would not have been averse to going swimming. There are bitey flies there. And the other nice thing about the lake is that you can pick up a cell signal there. 2
things to be wary of, I would say, coming to this park in particular. One is that the roads that are not paved with asphalt, they're just the sort of gravel roads, can be very potholy, and there's some very deep potholes. Surprising that they don't, run around with a dump truck full of gravel, honestly. And it affects actually some of the sites as well, right? We've seen some sites that have been very muddy.
Actually, the site next to us, I think they must have complained because we did see some guys come in with some gravel and fill in a hole there. So
it's too bad they didn't do the enormous pothole in front of our site. So that makes, with the rain that we've had, there's some pretty sizable mud puddles, and you don't know how deep some of them are.
Yeah.
But we know that some of them are deep because we drove our trailer over them. The other thing is there is no cell signal in most of the park. So once you get past Pass Lake, which is the northern boundary of the park, you lose cell service, generally speaking. No, forget internet, you're not even getting phone calls in or out. And there are some odd little exceptions, and the beach in this campground, for whatever reason, happens to be one of them. So you can, if you walk down to the beach, pick up a little bit of a cell signal, and you can even get some internet. And so we've done that a couple of times. Got to obey the owl and maintain the streak.
Right.
But be aware of that. So checking weather and those kind of things, you have to go somewhere where you can do that.
But I would say in this park, the major activity is hiking.
Absolutely.
There are trails everywhere. But the thing to be aware of in the trail descriptions that they hand out is that when they say easy, it could just mean it's short but challenging, and that equals easy because it's short. The short challenging ones are still very doable for us. For other people, that even though it says easy, that may be a no-go. And a lot of the trails, you have to hike a long distance to, like, I'm talking maybe over 10 kilometers to even get to the start of the trail. So of course we stuck to trails that you could drive to the start of the trail.
More or less.
More
We did do one where you have to walk a little bit of one trail to pick up the trail that is a little offshoot.
Yeah, but that was half a kilometer.
There's a lot of that. So the one really famous trail here that everybody talks about is the Giant's Head. So you go up to the head of the Sleeping Giant, and that trail itself is maybe something like 3 or 4 kilometers return, but you've got the 6 or 7, 10 or more kilometers return that you've got to do to get there. So overall, you're looking at like 20 kilometers to do that hike. So there's a lot of that. They have one trail that goes around the periphery of the Sibley Peninsula, or the outer part of the park here, and it is 74 kilometers altogether. So they do have campsites along some of these longer trails that you could pick up if you were hiking. But
and the fellow in the visitor center told us that most people that do that trail take 3 days to do it.
And you did point out to me earlier that the visitor center has a binder with much better trail descriptions than you get even in the fairly comprehensive booklet.
So it gives time estimates to do the trail and that sort of thing, which is super helpful.
Yeah.
And fuller descriptions.
So we did do some hiking. Let's go through some of the things that we walked to. So there was a 9-kilometer road off of the main park road, which they warned you was rough and steep. And it was rough by times and steep by times and rough and steep by times.
Yes.
Really nervous driving it even in the Highlander. Wouldn't want to take a car, although we discovered there are some people who were brave or foolish enough to do that when we got to the end of it. But when you get there, we went to the Thunder Bay Lookout, which was absolutely spectacular, if somewhat irrationally terrifying.
Yes. I think a lot of the terror comes from the fear of dropping your cell phone over as you're taking pictures. But you got to take pictures. It was really something. It juts out over beyond the edge of the cliff. So you get that straight down look, and you just feel kind of suspended over the drop below, which is like 100 meters or something like that.
Or 1,000 kilometers, we're not sure.
Yeah.
There's some confusion about that. So Thunder Bay Lookout, absolutely spectacular, and in terms of the wildfire smoke, quite clear skies compared to what we've had earlier on the trip.
Yeah.
Did not disappoint. And then in the same area at the end of that road is the Thunder Bay Bogs Nature Trail, which is not a very long trail. They would call it easy. I would say moderate for terrain, easy for length for sure. Not easy to get to driving on that crazy road.
Unless you have a stomach of steel or an off-road vehicle.
Beautiful scenery, and you eventually come out to a nice little lake.
Yeah. I mean, it's not spectacular, but it's pretty. And it is a bog, so the ground is soft and wet, but passable. Walking sticks and hiking boots are highly recommended.
Yeah, I would say for any of these trails, actually, even the trails that are meant to be easy or bike friendly or whatever, there's a lot of up and down.
Not the Thunder Bay Lookout. That's mere steps from the parking lot.
Right.
Just want to mention at the end of that long road, there is an outhouse. So that was appreciated.
I don't think it was marked on the map, too.
No.
So there are two significant trailheads. The sort of the North Kabayun trailhead and the South Kabayun trailhead. And from there you can get onto this 74-kilometer trail. And off of that trail you can get onto many other little trails that are offshoots of that.
Yeah.
And they do have kaibos at both of those.
Yeah.
So that's worth noting. Then partway back on that road is something called the South Bays End Lookout Trail. It looks like an old logging road. Broad, seems like it's got tracks in the grass that's growing up in the middle of this broad path. We didn't walk the whole trail. We walked as far as a little lookout over Thunder Bay.
It was about a 20-minute walk for us. I mean, which you can cover a fair distance because the trail itself is flat and easy. It was worthwhile. I mean, it got buggy. We did end up putting on bug jackets. But the lookout, which is not marked or anything, but it's easy enough to pick out the trail to it. It was worth, like, we were happy to see it. Yeah, it was very nice.
And then the other hike that we did on Monday was the Joe Creek Nature Trail, which is a little trail, park off the main park road, and walk down along this little creek. And there are several places where there are cascades.
Yeah.
So that was very cool.
Yeah. And there were people there in the know that had brought their kids, and there's some flat rocks there that they were sitting on, swimming, like taking dips in the water and having a picnic. So that looked very pleasant, and it wasn't buggy at that point.
Yeah, the end of the trail was sort of difficult to determine. It sort of seemed like, okay, probably shouldn't go past this point.
Yeah.
So later on Monday, our friends Chuck and Christine from Thunder Bay, the people we stayed with in the previous leg, came and joined us.
They're in Site 43, which looks like it was potentially a fair walk if you go by roads on the map, but it's made very short. We can practically see their site through the trails that are not the road.
There are a lot of loops off of a couple of main roads, and I've noticed that there are several designated hiking paths, so they're footpaths meant to kind of short circuit past these various loops.
Yeah, they're official paths. They're not just things that people have tromped down.
Our friends are quite close by, even though they're a couple of loops away. If we had to drive there, it would take a bit.
Yeah.
But walking there, no problem. They joined us, and so we did some other things with them. They, of course, are familiar with the area. We did go to the visitor center and enjoyed it before and after the power was cut for a little while. Then we drove down to the end of the Sibley Peninsula, where the Silver Islet General Store can be found. They have a little marina there and a dock. This is outside of the southern boundary of the park.
And a serious dock.
Yeah, serious dock. Apparently they get tour ships there.
Yeah.
Right. We had heard tell that the Silver Islet General Store was the place to go to enjoy their tea shop, and what we found was bitter disappointment.
They had, and first of all, note, they don't open till noon. They had closed their tea shop for the day because of the tour ships, when they come, clean them out. So they needed a baking day between ships just to get caught up in their inventory. So they had to close down, so we lost out. But I did get a cup of coffee there, which was excellent coffee.
Tourist pricing and no pie, so damn their eyes.
But they had nice little gifty things, of course, tourist price. But they were, they weren't the tacky things, they were nice things.
If you want the tacky stuff, go to the Flying J.
Right.
Fancy stuff, but no pie.
They probably have pie in cellophane.
Another trail that we did was this was one of the famous views here is the Sea Lion Trail. So you walk down a little bit of the Kabyun Trail to get to the Sea Lion Trail, and it's a
And when
it's
he
a
says walk down, he means down.
down and down and down and down, and on the way back, up and up and up and up. And it is a spectacular view.
Rated easy again because it's short. We worked up a sweat.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was, but definitely worth the walk. Difficult to say the same about the Lake Marie Louise lookout, which is a little lookout with a little parking lot. I think in the park guide they rate it as a must see or a hidden gem or something like that.
No, they call it a must see. You don't have to see it. You know what the best view is from the park road? There's a bridge just at the very end of the lake. That is the best view. Don't bother going down their thing. It's buggy and it's not a great view. From the bridge is really nice.
We didn't really do any day tripping on this park.
It's too remote from anything.
Right. It's it's more than an hour round trip just to get out to the highway. However, in terms of wildlife, we saw a deer popped out driving in to the campground initially from out of the forest, ran along beside us for a bit, and then decided, sure, I can make it in front of that car, and that's what it did. It was
so drive carefully and look for deer, and if you see one, put on the brakes.
Chuck and I went to gas up yesterday, and he tells me that he glimpsed a moose in the forest. I didn't see it. I was watching the road for potholes, but so you can see that sort of thing, and lots of birds and so forth. There's black-capped chickadees showing up all the time, and of course crows, because we're up around here, and crows seem to be the thing. Can't quite see it. It's a little bit over Sandy's shoulder. We have a cedar tree right on our site, and there were some birds poking around in the bark looking for something, and I think they might have been the fabled red-eyed vireos.
Could be.
Hard to say. So lots of interesting plants. You had a thistleberry, or what the heck was it?
Thimbleberry.
Thimbleberry.
Yes. Which is not sweet, and the taste is fine. It's the texture of a raspberry, but it's nothing to write home about. But it was very interesting to try what those things were actually like.
And there were some other interesting plants. You got a picture of some kind of weird looking, they were like white beans or something.
Oh yeah, these plant with a cluster of white berries that had a waxy beanish appearance, so that was neat.
Right.
And got some pictures of some pretty spectacular pink flowers. Yeah.
Overall, I would say the thing about this park is the hiking. They have, I think I read somewhere, they have something like 750 kilometers of trails. The trail guide numbers them from 1 to 27. So there's more trails than you could possibly do in any one trip, I think. But certainly come here for the hiking. The hiking is good, but be prepared for challenging hikes.
And yeah, it's a nice park.
There it is. Now next stop, Nays.